All right, let's talk about what might be one of the wildest games we've seen from the Philadelphia Eagles in recent memory. And trust me, that's saying a lot. This wasn't just a comeback win. This was a full-blown statement game. A gut check. A character-defining moment that could very well be the turning point of the season. Sitting back, letting the game marinate a bit, watching the reactions pour in, and now seeing it all with a clearer lens. This win over the Los Angeles Rams means more than just another W in the standings. First of all, let's acknowledge what this team is becoming under Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. They've built something special in Philadelphia, something resilient. It's not just about having talent, which they clearly do, but it's about having the right mindset, the right attitude, and the ability to perform under pressure. When the Eagles are down, they don't panic. When the momentum is against them, they don't flinch. And when the game is on the line, they don't crumble, they rise. And that's exactly what we saw today. It's not hyperbole to say that this team has become a boa constrictor. They wrap around their opponents, slowly squeezing the life out of them until there's nothing left. It's not flashy. It's not always pretty, but it's brutally effective. It's the kind of football that wears you down over the course of 60 minutes. And by the time the fourth quarter hits, most teams just don't have anything left in the tank to keep up. The Rams? They came into this matchup with fire. You could tell by the way they talked about the game, how they promoted it on social media. This was a playoff-level intensity from their side. They circled this game. They wanted this one badly. And for most of the first half, it looked like they were going to get it. They punched the Eagles in the mouth early and went up 26-7. That's not a small lead. That's the kind of cushion where most teams mentally check out, already writing their headlines. But the Eagles? They didn't blink. 26 unanswered points later, the Rams were left stunned on their own field, while the Eagles celebrated one of the most stunning turnarounds we've seen in a long time. It was pandemonium on the sidelines. Players running down to the end zone, coaches screaming, fans losing their minds. You could feel the shift, not just in the game, but maybe even in the entire season. Because games like this, they change things. They build belief. They ignite something deeper inside a locker room. It brought back serious memories of that Jake Elliott 61-yard bomb against the Giants back in 2017. Remember that one? Early in the year, still trying to figure things out, people questioning whether that team had what it took. And then boom, walk-off field goal, complete madness. And that moment basically launched a Super Bowl run. That could be this type of win. Not just important for the standings, but important for the soul of the team. And speaking of Elliott, tell me what it is with this team and the number 61. In 2017, it's the field goal. Last year, it was the 61-yard reception to Dallas Goedert that helped seal the win against the Saints. Today, a 61-yard blocked field goal return from Jordan Davis. I mean, what are the odds? It's like the football gods and Philly have a thing for that number. And every time it shows up, it's something huge. Now, let's really talk about Jalen Hurts. Because what we saw in that second half was the version of Hurts that everyone's been waiting for. All the noise from social media, all the doubts, the critics, the people calling him just a tush-push quarterback, they were ready to pounce. First half wasn't pretty, and you could see the vultures circling. Tweets getting drafted, clips ready to go viral. Every mistake under a microscope. But in that second half, Jalen Hurts said enough. He went up to Sirianni and offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo and basically told them to let him cook. Put the offense on his back. Let him take over. And they did. And wow, did he deliver. 16 completions on 22 attempts, over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a near-perfect passer rating of 140.9. That's not just good. That's elite. And he did it against the number 1 defense in the NFL through the first 3 weeks. Let that sink in. The best defense in football got lit up by a quarterback that some people still claim can't throw. 7 of 9 on passes, over 10 air yards in the second half alone. Accurate, aggressive, confident. He wasn't just managing the game, he was owning it. And that's what separates good quarterbacks from the great ones. When it's crunch time, the elite rise. Jalen Hurts didn't just rise. He dominated. And here's the thing. Hurts didn't just beat the Rams. He silenced a whole crowd of critics who've been waiting for him to fail. People in the comments. People in the DMs. People on every social media platform. dragging his name through the mud, questioning if he's the guy, diminishing everything he's already accomplished. And now, nothing. Radio silence. Because there's simply nothing left to say. He shut them all up, and he did it with the kind of performance that champions are made of. Look at the numbers. 19 wins in the last 20 games. That's not a fluke. That's not luck. That's culture. That's consistency. That's a quarterback leading a team week in and week out. And when you combine that with the leadership of Sirianni, the intensity of this defense, and the weapons all over the field, it's no wonder this team just keeps stacking wins. And let's give some love to A.J. Brown while we're at it. Because once again, when he gets the ball, good things happen. It's not just about the catches. It's about what he does after the catch. The yards after contact. The physicality. The explosion. The one-handed grabs. He's the kind of guy who can take over a game at any moment. And today was another example of that. And this is why the offense finally opened up, because Hurts started pushing the ball downfield. They trusted their playmakers, and their playmakers responded. The third down conversions, the red zone execution, the confidence to take shots, that's what this offense is capable of when it's firing on all cylinders. And when it is, it's borderline unstoppable. Even the run game started to benefit. Saquon Barkley found some room, because the defense was too worried about what Hurts and the receivers were doing. That's how you build a complete offense. But the unsung hero of this game might just be Jordan Davis. This dude has taken a leap. Coming out of Georgia, there were questions. Was he just a two-down guy? Could he stay on the field consistently? Could he play at a high level for an entire game? Early on, the answer was not yet. He wasn't in shape. Conditioning wasn't there. But something changed. Halfway through last season, you could tell he flipped a switch. He got serious. He leaned into his training, got his body right, found a rhythm. And now, he's a beast. He's not just big, he's fast. On that blocked field goal return, he hit nearly 17 miles per hour. At his size, that's unreal. And he's become a cornerstone of this defense. Alongside Jalen Carter, the Eagles might have the scariest young interior duo in the league for years to come. That's not exaggeration. That's reality. You can see how much the coaching staff believes in him, too. They picked up his fifth-year option. They've shown they're willing to invest in him long-term. And if he keeps playing like this, he's going to earn that extension and then some. Game-changing plays. Momentum-shifting moments. That's what Jordan Davis is bringing to the table now. And back to coaching for a second. Kevin Patullo better have taken some notes today. Because being conservative, being predictable, that's not going to cut it. When you have this much talent, you have to unleash it. You have to let them play with freedom and aggression. That second-half offense, that's what this team should look like every week. That's how you win big games. That's how you beat elite teams. And don't sleep on the defense either. Yes, they gave up some plays. Yes, there's still room for improvement, especially against the run. But when it mattered most, they held strong. They bent, but they didn't break. Forced field goals instead of giving up touchdowns. Got pressure on Matthew Stafford. Kept the game within reach long enough for the offense to take over. There's something about games like this that do more than just show up in the win column. They shift the entire energy of a season. They tell you something about who a team really is, not just when things are going well, but when it's ugly, when it's tough, when everything feels like it's slipping away. That's the kind of adversity the Eagles stared in the face against the Rams. And what makes this team different is how they responded. That second half wasn't just an adjustment on the whiteboard. It was an emotional shift, a mental flex, a refusal to back down. And again, all signs point to Jalen Hurts being the heartbeat of that response. He's not the kind of quarterback who screams or throws helmets on the sideline, but you can see it in his eyes. He's locked in. He's got that quiet fire that burns hottest when the pressure is highest. And it's in those moments, when the defense is celebrating, when the haters are already drafting their think pieces, when the fans are starting to wonder if the season is slipping, that Hurts finds his best version. The great ones always do. And Sunday felt like one of those days where everything crystallized. You could see it in how he controlled the game, how the offense moved at his pace. The decision-making was sharper, the throws had more conviction, and the pocket presence was calm and composed. When he had to extend plays, he did it without panicking. When he needed to be a pocket passer, he stood tall and delivered. That's what makes him so dangerous. He's never locked into just one style. He adapts. He evolves. And when the team puts their trust in him, more often than not, he rewards that trust. And speaking of trust, how about the trust this locker room has in one another? It's not just coach talk or PR spin. It's real. You can see it in how the players interact, how they celebrate, how they rally after every big moment. When A.J. Brown makes a big catch and shrugs off defenders like they're kids in the backyard, the entire sideline erupts. When Jordan Davis rumbles into the end zone like a freight train after a blocked kick, it's not just special teams guys celebrating. It's everyone. That kind of chemistry doesn't happen by accident. It's culture. It's belief. It's what makes a team dangerous when it matters most. That's why this win hits different. It wasn't clean. It wasn't textbook. But it was real. It was earned. You don't come back from a deficit like that unless the entire locker room believes it's possible. And not just in theory. They believe in each other, in the plan, in the system. Nick Sirianni preaches that every week, and Sunday was the latest proof that his message is sticking. Fight, fight, fight. That's more than a catchphrase. It's the identity of this team. And when you have a locker room full of guys who live that mantra, there's no deficit that feels too big. There's a moment in that second half, right after a long third down conversion where Hurts stood in the pocket and fired a missile between two defenders, where you could feel the tide shift. Not just on the scoreboard, but in the body language of both teams. The Rams looked rattled. The Eagles looked hungry. That's what happens when you let a team like this hang around. They don't go away. They don't fade. They get stronger the deeper the game goes. And by the fourth quarter, they're not just trying to win, they're trying to break you. And let's not overlook the subtle brilliance of the play calling after halftime. Kevin Patullo and Sirianni clearly had a conversation at the break that changed the tone of the game. Gone were the conservative checkdowns and the predictable runs up the gut. They let the offense breathe. They let Hurts open things up. And suddenly, everything started to click. The tempo increased. The formations got more creative. The passing windows opened. And once the Rams' defense was on its heels, there was no slowing the Eagles down. This is why being aggressive matters. This is why you can't play scared, especially with the weapons the Eagles have. A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, and now Saquon Barkley. That's a ridiculous collection of offensive firepower. If you keep the chains on them, you're doing the defense a favor. But when you let them loose, when you call plays that stretch the field and force the defense to cover every blade of grass, the outcome changes fast. And that's exactly what happened. What really stood out, though, was how crisp the execution became. No more hesitation. No more second-guessing. Hurts trusted his reads. The receivers trusted the timing. The offensive line, which, let's be honest, had been pretty average through the first two games, finally began to play with a bit more urgency. They still have to clean some things up. Landon Dickerson, in particular, needs to raise his game. But this second half showed what this group can be when they play to their potential. And when they do, the offense becomes downright scary. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers around the league are turning into outright roars after last night's jaw-dropping performance by Shadur Sanders. The young quarterback didn't just beat the Cleveland Browns. He humiliated them. Observers claim that every pass seemed surgical, every read impeccable, and the Browns' defense looked like amateurs trying to keep up with a masterclass. Analysts are already calling it one of the most dominant displays by a rookie signal caller in recent memory. But the story doesn't end on the field. Rumors are now swirling that Sanders is about to take his talents to Philadelphia, reportedly agreeing to a stunning 4-year deal with the Eagles. Sources close to the matter say the negotiations have been intense but swift, with the Eagles eager to secure Sanders before other teams could even blink. Philadelphia fans are reportedly ecstatic, imagining a future where Sanders commands an offense that could rival some of the league's best ever. The move, if finalized, could reshape the NFC landscape, injecting a fresh, high-octane energy into a team that has been searching for its next franchise quarterback for years. Meanwhile, the Browns are left scratching their heads after what many are calling an embarrassing defeat. Questions are already being asked about their defensive strategies and whether any adjustments can be made to counter the kind of precision Sanders displayed. The league's rumor mill is spinning nonstop. Social media is ablaze with clips of Sanders' plays, and commentators are dissecting every throw, every scramble, and every audacious decision. Some are calling it the rookie revolution. Others see it as a warning shot to the entire NFL. A new era may be starting, and it's led by Shadur Sanders. As the Eagles prepare for what could be a blockbuster signing, fans are counting down the days until the ink is dry and Sanders takes the field in green and white. For now, all we can do is watch, speculate, and revel in the spectacle of one player dominating so completely that rumors alone are enough to shake the league. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.